What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about sacrificing and again, taking sacrifices for the things you want out of life, like going after for the things you want out of life, right? Just sacrificing anything. So if you want something, obviously you guys always hear about this before that like anything you want out of life, of course it takes sacrifice. Of course you have to give up something you want to do in the moment versus for something that you want to do in the future. So like for example, let's just say you like hanging out with your friends, you guys like to party, you guys like to go out, you guys like to, drink or just do anything, right? But it's good in the moment, but in the long run, it's not gonna benefit you as much, right? So at times when you're trying to go far in life, like sometimes it, maybe even all the time, it requires a lot of hard work and it also requires a lot of effort and time. That's the most important thing. It requires a lot of time. It could be if you have long term goals, more than likely is for greater purposes. Like if you want to start your own business, or it could be your 9 to 5. Let's say you're trying to get like promoted, or you're trying to get in a leadership position, or like you're trying to get a pay raise. It could be anything to where like you're trying to better your craft. It could be with sports. Maybe you want to become a better athlete. Maybe you want to have more skills, right? But regardless of any occupation or any career that you want out of life, it requires time, effort, and hard work and sacrifice. So you can't do one thing at a time. I understand people multitask, but you can't like again, especially since time is speeding up these days. Time is accelerating extremely fast. Um, you got to sacrifice. Even you don't have to do it all the time, but one way or another, you have to sacrifice eventually. It could be like something minor, or more than likely, it could be something you enjoy doing. Like if you enjoy hanging out with your friends, you two like to have fun, go out, and drink. That takes a lot of time, right? Yes, some people do 30 minutes, 20 minutes, but not just that. It could be anything in general. Where like you got to sacrifice and not eating out, like not eating unhealthy. Maybe you want to get more healthy and fit. You got to sacrifice junk food. You got to sacrifice not eating dessert, not eating cookies, not eating like brownies. Just so you can have a more healthier body, right? Or like if you're trying to, let's say, be fit, you still got to work out at a certain time. You got to wake up at a certain time. You got to add that to your schedule. And if you're starting your own business, you got to add all these to your schedule. But again, I know I'm all over the place, but it is challenging because like there are times where like I want to hang out with like my friends. I want to hang out with certain people I enjoy, but it's like I don't have time to be doing that, because I really want to, but like you just got to cut certain things off. It doesn't have to be permanently, but temporarily for the moment, because there's a lot of things you want to get done, but it just takes time to do it. Like so that's the thing. Like if you're trying to like do great things in life, if you're trying to get ahead, if you have like a big vision of big dreams, it requires a lot of time, and it sucks because and it's just saying that like it's lonely at the top. So like this is why you have to sacrifice. Sometimes you have to cut people off, or like not even that, you don't have to cut people off. It doesn't even have to be that extreme, but like you have to maybe not hang out with people as much so you could get things you want finished. You have to set very strong boundaries with people. You have to learn how to say no to a lot of people. You have to, like, if people want to take you out, or people want to hang out with you, people want to use you in some way, you got to say no. You got to have strong boundaries. You can't let these people have access to you, because especially if people aren't at the same level as you, or they don't have the same vision as you, or they don't have the same life goals as you, it's just going to be a recipe for disaster. Because if you're trying to go one way but someone else is trying to go the other way, like you're trying to go up here, right, but someone else is coming up here, if you're trying to take time out of your day to hang out with them, you're gonna go down here, and they're just gonna drag you down. It's not possible for you to go down here and then still go back up. No, because they're gonna waste your time, they're gonna waste your energy, and you two are vibrating differently, obviously, because you're focused on one thing and they're focused on another thing, for different reasons and different causes, right? So it's like, and more likely you have more awareness, so it's gonna be extremely hard, to pick yourself back up after you decided to have these people have access to your time. This is why like entrepreneurs or people who are extremely rich, you always hear stories and people talk about like they're very like picky with their time. Like they take their time extremely seriously. This is why you see rich people not hanging out with people who aren't making as much money as them. You see why not? I don't like the term rich. Like people who make a lot of money, pretty much, or like famous people. there's reasons why like famous people or people who make a lot of money who hang out with people around their group or around their or they hang out with people that are at similar life stages and similar life situations as they in, because they rather not hang out with people who are making less money. They rather not hang out with people who are less famous, because it's a mindset, you know. And no, I'm not saying just because you're not as famous, like you're not making as much money, is that you're not at their level. It's not that at all, because obviously the money system is corrupt and like it is what it is. But I'm just saying, like, but you get their mindset, like, because it's all about your mindset. It's all about your level, you know. If you're trying to go far, it's not gonna make sense if you're trying to go down and meet people at their level down here, right? It's not gonna make sense because they're gonna drag you down, you know. And I know you guys heard about this before. You guys hear about this plenty of times, you know. So that's why it's so important to you just gotta have a strong focus. You gotta have laser sharp focus. It does suck sometimes that like you gotta cut people off, or like you gotta say no to a lot of people if they invite you to do certain things out of life, you know. And like that's the thing, like life is so short. Life is so temporary. Like there's so many things I want to get done. There's so many things, like there's so many experiences I want to have, but it's so hard to, like, you know, maintain your experiences by having fun and then balancing working hard and working on your business or working on your craft, trying to go far in life. And then you got to work on your body. It's very important to work on the human body. Like you got to stay healthy, you got to stay fit, you know what I'm saying? So like it's just very hard and challenging to balance all these things out. It is possible, but you got to be extremely disciplined. Honestly, I don't think it's possible though. Yeah, you have to sacrifice one thing or another. If you are going to sacrifice, make sure you sacrifice something that's not going to help you in the long run. That is why in life it's always important to focus on things that's going to help benefit you in the long run, not in the short term. You know, yes, it may feel good in the moment, but if it's not benefiting you in any way, get away from that situation, you know. And this is how it is, you know. This is how life is. But that's the thing too. If you work on your long-term goals, it is going to suck because you're gonna experience pain, and pain in like not like you don't feel like you want to do it. Like it's just pain in the ass, is a hassle. But obviously you love what you do, but it's still gonna suck. You know what I'm saying? Because you still put in the work. There's why people call it hard work. Hard work isn't easy. It's hard for a reason. If it was easy, anyone would do it. Everyone would get results. But it takes effort. You know, it takes a lot of brain power. It takes your body. It takes everything. You got to be locked into it. This is why like it's so hard to like meet people who aren't at that level, because they're not putting effort, they're not putting that energy. And when you're trying to lower your energy, it's hard to build yourself back up. And not only that, but now you're wasting time, so it's hard to like balance these things out, you know. And it's about habits too. Like if you're trying to go far here but you're trying to meet people down here, you're going to develop bad habits. You're going to develop people that are down here, you're going to develop their habits. If they're constantly like messing around, if they're not planning their day-to-day goals, they don't have a vision, they don't have any dreams, eventually if you keep hanging out with these people, you're gonna build their habits, you know. And you don't want to do that, especially if you're trying to go far in life, especially if you have a vision, because these people, they're down here for a reason, because they don't have goals, they don't have habits. I mean, good habits that's gonna benefit them in the long run. They only want things short term. They only want things that's gonna satisfy them in the moment, and you really don't want that, you know. This is how life is, you know. And that's the thing that sucks too. And like and they don't have to be your friends. I mean, you could love these people, you know. It could be friends, it could be family, it could be anyone you're close to, right? But sometimes you gotta cut people off, you know. I think I don't want to twist his words, but I think Kobe mentioned this. Kobe Bryant, he mentioned that like if you want to be great at something, those weren't his exact words, but he said something like this: if you want to be great at something, you could do it. It is accomplishable. You could do it, but you have to make a lot of sacrifices. Are you willing to sacrifice being like a good friend? Are you willing to sacrifice being a good son, a good daughter, a good family member, a good brother, even a good parent? You know, are you willing to go to that extremes, go to that depths of life? You know, just so you can be great at something. You know, and whatever it may be, you could have it. It just takes a lot of sacrifices. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of time. You know, you have to be willing to go that deep. You know, those weren't Kobe's exact words, but that's pretty much what he said. He didn't mention those words though. Like he didn't some of it, not all of it, because I don't want to. It's been a while since I watched Kobe Bryant's interviews and his documentaries, but he did mention something like that, and he has a good point. I love studying Kobe Bryant because I really admire his mindset. I really admire his work ethic. I admire how he views life, his vision for life. I just really admire it, you know. because he wants to be great, and his obviously his results show it. He's one of the greatest of all time. But he has a good point. So like, if you want something out of life, you have to take sacrifices. You have to go deep. And that's the thing too. It's very rewarding, and especially if you love what you do. That's why it's always important to find your passions, to figure out what you want to do. Because if you don't love what you're doing, that's a long term goal. It's gonna be impossible to stay focused. It's gonna be impossible. It's gonna be hard for you to stay on track. You're gonna get off track. This is why, if you love something, it's gonna be worth it. Like if you love something, if you're passionate about something, you're willing to do whatever it takes to go to reach those levels. You can do whatever it takes to push yourself to the limit. Like, yes, it's not gonna be easy, of course, because it takes a lot of hard work and it takes a lot of sacrifices. But if you love what you do, you're gonna be willing to do it. Not saying it's easy, but you're at least gonna have the thought or idea of even doing that, or at least you're gonna try to do that. And that's the thing. Always figure out, always know what you want out of life. Always make sure you love what you do, and sometimes it's gonna take sacrifices, but and that's the thing with life too. Like life is so short, man. Like the older I'm getting, the more I'm starting to realize like life is extremely short. Like you see famous people dying at their 20s, at their 40s, at their early 30s. I think the average human lifespan is like 90. So life is extremely short, man. Like it's crazy. Sometimes I gotta remind myself not to take life for granted, because it's so easy, in my opinion, to take life for granted, especially like if you're privileged in a way. When I mean by privilege, I mean like if you automatically have a roof over your head, if you have guaranteed food, and you have a job, and like you have certain friends, and you have clothes on your body, you have a bed. It's so easy to take those things for granted because there's certain people in third world countries or people that don't even have access to those kind of things, even a smartphone, So just the fact that you have, and me included, like you have a smartphone, you have a roof over your head, you have a job, you're getting paid money, you have guaranteed food, shelter, and water, and survival, Those are the type of things we really shouldn't take for granted. And the things we do have, such as the internet and electronics, we should really use it to the best of our advantage, the best to our ability. You know what I'm saying? Why not, We have the internet, we have access to the internet, so why not use it to the best of our ability, You can make YouTube videos, you can start your own business. People are making thousands and billions of dollars, not billions, but like millions and thousands of dollars, even billions from the internet, People have a lot of businesses through the internet. You have people coming out of high school, young teenagers making over six figures, thousands, even millions of dollars through the internet. You can be very well known, become very famous and popular through the internet. You can make money through the internet. And not only that, but the internet has so much access to a lot of knowledge, So why not use the internet to your advantage, That's the thing you got to look at. And it's always important not to take life for granted, because I was reflecting life, and I just realized, damn, like I'm 25, but like life is good, man. Make sure you enjoy life. I feel like I am thankful for my life. I am so blessed. I am thankful God gave me the opportunity to still be alive, even though life could be pain in the ass. Like you could deal with a lot of bullshit with life, but again, just the fact that you're alive, just the fact that each and every day you wake up, you have a new opportunity to make your life better, to meet new people, to try new things, and to change the world for the better even. It's a blessing, and like no matter what, always aim for the stars. Go extremely far, man. Why not? Like, why not you? Why not you? You watching this? Why not you? Why can't you change the world? Why can't you break generational curses? Why can't you make like unlimited amounts of money? Why can't you be the first in your family to become a billionaire? Change your bloodline. That's the thing too. Like the thing with life, try to do whatever it takes to change for the better. If you want to be the first in your family to graduate from college, you could do that. If you want to be the first of your family to even have a loving family, do that. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be anything. Like break these generational curses. Go above and beyond. The human mind and heart is extremely powerful. That's why I made a video earlier. Like I feel like the human body can't catch up with the human mind. This is why like there are times where like you'll be up multiple days doing what you love and studying, but your body needs to sleep, And that's the thing, mind over matter. The mind is extremely powerful, and sometimes the human body cannot keep up with the mind, I've noticed. I mean, you just got to trick your body. this is where you get your adrenaline from. This is where you get your like, where like you're in a rush. It's sense of urgency. It's crazy how much the human body can adjust depending on how your mind is. This is why like when you're late or like when you're on a rush, you tend to get a lot of things done extremely fast and quick, especially when you're stressed, because the mind it tricks the body like that, you know. And I think that this is where you get your fight or flight mode, you know. But you know, it's just it's crazy how like whenever I wake up, sometimes I gotta think to myself like, damn, like I'm really alive. Like I can move my hand, like I have arms, and that's the thing too. Like always have gratitude because, you know, just the fact that you have arms and legs, just the fact that you have a functioning mind, just the fact that you're not blind, just the fact that like you can see, like you can eat, you can breathe. You know, be thankful for those things. You know, don't take things like that for granted because some people they don't have like arms or legs. Some people they can't see. Some people are blind. You know, some people, you know, they have like health disorders. You know, and like anything could go wrong. This is why like it's always important to have gratitude. I'm not saying bypass your situation or to overlook it, but like just know that no matter what, someone always has it harder. So always count your blessings. Always take time out of your day to be thankful, to have gratitude, and in return, you're gonna attract a lot more abundance because it's the fact that you're showing a lot of gratitude. You're more thankful, and like you appreciate things like that when it comes to life. You know, I know in life it gets extremely busy, so like it's hard to like take a step back, to take a deep breath, and to acknowledge the things that are you do have. You know, because especially like if people with strong ambition, I feel like we're so focused on like we're just so focused on like try to reach a certain milestone, try to reach a certain amount of money, trying to reach a certain status, or like try to pursue their passions. But sometimes it's hard to just to stop and to like be very proud of yourself. Just how far you came and how far you come, but like just how far like all the things you've been through, you know, and to also like acknowledge and have gratitude and be thankful for all the things you experienced, the ups and downs, the good times with your family, the good times with your friends. Always value your connections, always appreciate your connections, especially like if you're very ambitious, because like, and that's the thing too, like if you're trying to go far in life, um, always cherish your connections because there are going to be times where you have to sacrifice these connections. There are times where like you have to cut people off, not because out of spite or because you don't like them, but because it's your mission. It's like your purpose. I can't really explain it. Like if you know if you do what you love, or if you at least attempting to try to do things so you can be better